I would like to begin with something called the set aside prayer. Higher power, please help me to set aside the things I think I know. Help me to set aside everything I think I know about you, everything I think I know about myself, everything I think I know about other people, everything I think I know about this program. Also, I can have a new experience in you, a new experience in myself, a new experience in my fellows, and a new experience in my own recovery. Hi, everybody. My name is Cheryl. I am an alcoholic. Um, I've learned I'm a real alcoholic. Uh, and I just want to say a disclaimer. I speak for me, myself, and I am not a representative of AA. These are my opinions and my beliefs based on my experience. And so I'm not some guru or anything for AA. I'm just going to share my experience with y'all. And I hope that I can, if I do anything else, I pray that I carry the message of hope, because we have so much hope in these rooms. If you're not happy with your life, if you're stuck in the depths of addiction, if you've relapsed, if you're down and out, we have hope, we have a solution, and we have a way out, and we have a way to stay out. And I hope that's what I share with you today. And I hope I don't screw it up. Um, I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was a part of the established religion in Utah, Mormonism. I grew up with a mother, a father who loved each other, happily married. I have two older brothers and one younger brother, no sisters. Everything was pretty normal. We were probably in a middle lower class area. I didn't know we were kind of poor, but we were. It was fine because everybody around us was too. I didn't really want, I mean, I was fine. I was good. I had a peaceful childhood, no complaints. Everything was normal, boring until I got probably about middle or elementary school, upper elementary school. I started developing. I started getting those freaking boobies, and I started turning. The changes started happening, and I got molested by my brother, and that was really confusing because I didn't understand. I didn't know what was going on. We didn't talk about that stuff. My family, we never talked about that stuff. We were not a touchy-feely family. We were not a huggy family. My mother never told me about stuff, changes, and what was going on. Yeah. Anyway, we just didn't talk about that. My mom's she's a wonderful woman, but she's a very, let's put our head in the sand and let's pretend it doesn't exist. And that's how I grew up. I was in that religion. You are absolutely not to drink alcohol. It's a no-no. We don't smoke. We don't do drugs, just a very straight-laced belief system. That's how I grew up. I didn't know any better. I knew it was bad. I knew I wasn't supposed to hang out with the kids whose parents did that. I knew I wasn't supposed to hang out with kids whose parents smoked. Um, yeah. And then somewhere, my best friend growing up, her mom got a divorce and started dating and left the church and started smoking. So it's very confusing to me because I thought, wait a minute, like she's been a second mother to me, but she's smoking now. And so I can't, what? Like it didn't make sense to me. Um, but they allowed us to stay friends anyway. So that stuff's confusing. So I get in junior high. Um, People start kind of partying, dabbling with cigarettes. And I'm gonna admit, tried a couple cigarettes. Uh, Tried a couple cigarettes. I liked them. Did my little sneaky stuff, but that was as far as it went. My friends starting to drink, and I remember the whole upbringing. You are to stay pure. You are supposed to save yourself for marriage, period. You don't have sex until you're married. Um, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be great. You're going to grow up and have babies and take care of a family. And that was my goal. That's what women were taught to grow up. You grow up and you be a mom and you stay home. The men will go, they'll provide, you care for the home and you have babies. That's all you were supposed to do. College for women, no. I remember asking my parents if I could go to college. My brothers went, but I was just supposed to get married. That's the upbringing I grew up with. So I did that. I stayed good. I stayed very straight-laced arrow type kid, okay grades. I struggled with math, like nothing out of the ordinary, but my friends started dabbling, going to parties, especially in high school, going to parties, going to keggers, and I never did. I just stayed good. Um, had boyfriends, we'll just leave it there. I would run over to the bishop and I would repent. Oh no, we made out and he touched my boobie and oh no, like I'm so dirty. I remember going to a class one or a church class one time and they handed a piece of gum, a fresh piece of gum. They said, open up and put it in your mouth and chew it. Okay, now hand it to somebody else and they can put it in their mouth. They likened me to a dirty piece of gum. I remember sitting at the table for dinner one night and they were talking about the men have the priesthood. So they're the almighty authority and the women are just supposed to listen to them, mind them, sit down, shut up, and mind the man. And I remember feeling really sad thinking about God, thinking, why does God hate women? Like, why am I not supposed to use my brain? Like, I want to do stuff. I mean, I do want children, I do want a family, but like, why, what? It hurt. So I kind of thought God was kind of, I didn't really like that. And then yeah, the dinner table, my mom was talking and she said, yeah, your father's 51% and I'm 49%. And that just like broke my heart. That just crushed me. So I felt like I'm less than. Great, I'm less than. And even now I can feel it. I still feel that feeling, oh, I'm less than. So I took that on like I'm less than. Dated, anyway, high school came and went, graduated barely. But I noticed in high school, like I had a naughty side. Like I would go over and my boyfriend was a stoner. He was one of the naughty ones, but damn, he was cute. So I would run over in my little cheerleading outfit, run over, sneak on the side, see him, and then run over and pretend I liked the jock people. So I always kind of had this double thing going on. Um, I ended after high school, I met a guy, he was a return missionary. Yes, yes. That was my goal in life was to marry a return missionary. He came back and I was 18 and he was 25. He was much older than me. Just I thought, okay, this is it. I made it. This is it. We started dating. He highly pressured me to have sex. Long story short, I gave in and we were intimate. But I thought we were going to get married, so it was going to be okay. It was going to be okay. And then he graduated college, got a job, and moved to Arizona. Oh, okay, great. Now I'm tarnished. I'm less than, and my this other guy from my past popped up. He was cute too. He was an ex. We had always dated off and on, off and on, off and on. He showed up at the perfectly right slash wrong time. He was a party boy. He was a naughty boy. So I decided, oh well, here we go. And so I started messing with it and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It took away the pain. It took away everything. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved dancing. I liked going to bars. I liked being naughty. It was fun. I quit going home. I just went hard the other way. So I ended up getting pregnant. Awesome. Back then you got married. You got married and it didn't matter. Like, oh, so when you get married, you're just getting married. Times were different. So highly, we were forced to get married. Long story short, we were forced to get married. So we did. Um, and I was into forced sobriety. My husband then drank in front of me, partied just like it was nothing. And I remember just sitting there feeling so lonely because I didn't want to drink or drug being pregnant with my baby. And I remember feeling very lonely and didn't know what to do. But soon as my son was born, September 8, 2001, as soon as he came out, it was back on. It was back on. It was partying. It got harder. Started dabbling in drugs, drinking a lot. I remember that was the first time that we had to plan because all the liquor stores in Utah are closed on Sundays. So we had to pre-plan to have enough for Sunday. I started thinking, we drink pretty heavy, but didn't bother me because everybody we associated with drank that way and did drugs that way. And my poor son, had another baby 2 years later, same thing, continued on. To be honest with you, I don't have a lot of recollection of that time in my life, so that tells you something. The chemicals were taking over, absolutely. Got to pregnancy, no, not yet. During that time, we had grown, we bought a home, we moved out, we started building a nice life together. We got our first home, and the Mormon missionaries found us. And long story short, we started going to church again. One of the priesthood authorities came over to our house, and we pulled out the alcohol, and we had a ceremonial pour it down the sink. And we started going back to church, and I was happy. I started getting that God, okay, I could have God again. God was back. And we did okay for a couple years. until I got pregnant with well, I had my third child. Anyway, we went through the temple. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but we get sealed for time and all eternity. We're an eternal family. I've arrived. I've met all my church requirements. I've done everything I was supposed to do. We're good. We're good. Then I got pregnant with my fourth child, and at just about 6 months pregnant, I went to have the ultrasound. This was going to be it. We had a boy, two girls, and then we are going to have a boy, and we were going to be done because that's what we wanted. Well, I found out that at the ultrasound that she was a girl. She had spina bifida. She had water on the brain. She had a hole in her back. We had lots and lots and lots of problems. And this was just like all in a matter of like 2 hours. I just started getting all this information. And my ex was trying to go out of town on work, and he ended up leaving me. He's like, I gotta go. Sorry, we'll deal with this later. And he left me in the doctor's office, sobbing, crying that I found out that my baby was just completely broken inside me. And more of me broke, more of me broke. My heart broke, my heart shattered. I was the grief. I can't even explain it to you. They ended up inducing labor because the infection of her open body could have killed me. They ended up inducing labor. They talked about doing an abortion. I was like, you guys, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. So luckily, by some weird fluke, they induced labor, forced me into labor, and I had the baby, and she died in my arms. She was just a little teeny tiny micro preemie, and she died in not even in my arms, in my hand. And then the weirdest thing, they let us take her body home in a little casket, and she stayed in our house for a couple days before we could take her to the family cemetery and bury her. I mean, now when I think about it, like that's just so weird. But the trauma and the grief and yeah, I just, all I knew was I had an emptiness. I had an emptiness, like I didn't know what to do with it. So I thought, oh, let's try to have another baby. I ended up getting pregnant pretty quickly after that. It was only about like 4 months later. And I got pregnant. And I remember being about 5 months pregnant with her, and I started bleeding. And I was like, oh my God, no, 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 no. And we made it through. I carried her to term, and April 13th, 2001, my Katie came. I still call her my Band-Aid baby to this day. And she came out and she turned blue, and she almost died that day. Luckily, she survived. But she helped fill my heart. And that was so selfish of me. Oh my God, what a burden to put on a child to try to fill that void. I should have gone to therapy. There's so many things, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? I was very alone. Emotionally, I was very alone. I was just very sad and broken. Mustard kept going, had the baby, doing okay. And then my father, who was my best friend and helped me grow up. I didn't grow up with a kind, loving mom. She was kind of mean. Well, she was mean to me. I hate saying that. I feel she made fun of me. I remember the Muppets came on and Miss Piggy would come out, and I had big boobs and big poofy blonde hair, and they're like, oh, look, there's Cheryl. Haha, Miss Piggy's on. Come out, come out. And I just remember like my little spirit, like it really hurt. So I just always kind of thought my mom didn't like me. That made me lose my train of thought. Where am I? Sorry, give me a sec. Oh, my father. My dad was my buddy. He died. He died suddenly as a massive heart attack. And that was another like life jolting, jarring moment. My world was different. I remember driving to the hospital knowing that he had probably passed. It was a Sunday morning, and I was driving there, and I was like, all these people driving don't know that my world just shattered. How are they going to work like it's just nothing? Like my daddy just died. And I remember walking in, and I looked at him laying there, and yeah, I can still picture it. Like again, my world changed. It broke. Shortly after that, we got through that, and we decided to go on a family trip to Florida. And we needed to get away, and we did. And we were on the beach, and it was lovely, and it was so much fun. And I remember we went downstairs, and there was a little beach bar, said happy hour, drinks half off. And I looked at my now ex, and I said, hey, you wanna? And he's like, and I basically like convinced him to do it. It worked really well. Oh my God, that drink tasted good. It didn't taste good. I don't give a shit about the taste, to be honest. It felt good. And the second one felt even better and better. And the next day, I don't even, it was probably the next day, we were off buying bottles of hard alcohol again. Over time, it progressed. We didn't stop. I didn't want to stop. God can fuck, sorry, excuse me. God can fuck off. Religion can fuck off. Everything can fuck off. Everything I believed in can fuck off. And I'm wired all or nothing. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. And alcohol started taking over. It probably took a couple years of progression, but it got to where we were drinking every single night. I didn't think I was an alcoholic because I waited till 5 p.m. to start taking shots. Um, I, I don't remember cooking. I don't remember cleaning. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember my kids being scared of me though. My oldest daughter took over as mom. I remember I passed out at the computer and she was getting them up ready for school. My youngest daughter, she was only like 10. And I remember them peeking around the corner looking at me and they had like scared looks in their eyes, like they were scared of me. And it was confusing to me because I was blackout drinking, so I didn't recall. Um, and that got my attention. I remember that. And so after that, I thought, okay, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to stop. I'm going to quit. Like that solemn oath that we all do. I don't want to keep doing this. This is not who I am. I couldn't quit, you guys. I could not quit. I gained a lot of weight. I kept gaining weight and gaining weight. My body was shutting down. I literally was dying. I kept trying to talk to my husband to quit with me, to help me, to support me, and he never did. He was not interested in quitting. He fed it to me. He fueled it to me. He enabled me. When I would stop, we would get this pop-up vodka, this really shitty, cheap vodka. He would go buy me like my Jägermeister because I like my Jaeger and I like my tequila and I like my, the nice one. He would go get me a nice bottle of that. If I had started drying out, he would go get that and sabotage me. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an untreated alcoholic. Of course I'm going to drink it. He knew that. The thing that changed my life was, let's see where we're at. The thing that changed my life is I literally was dying on a green recliner in the house. I was sleeping on it. Just stayed there and drank. Um, and my little Katie would come and sit by me and take care of me. We started partying really bad. It was July 3rd of 2009 for the 4th of July weekend, right? Tearing it up, wasted. Started partying with the neighbors across the street. Well, not started, we had been. Completely out of control. Blackout drinking every night. I remember like peeing myself, being like, oh my God, this isn't normal. Waking up in different parts of the house, not remembering how I got there. That was happening more and more often. I remember going to eat some cereal and my hand was just shaking. And I was like, oh my God, what's this? This is different. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was alcoholism. I just thought I was depressed. I just thought I was depressed. I'd been depressed most of my life because, well, I'm told I'm less than and I don't matter and I'm a female and sit down and shut up. Uh, so I just thought I was depressed. And then I drank the alcohol, and that that made it worse. It was killing me. Anyway, I remember being so sick that day that I literally had to crawl to the bathroom. I couldn't see. I was dizzy. It was a bad, bad, bad hangover. And I remember went to the bathroom, like stuff was coming out of every orifice I had, crawled back to the chair, and I was like, oh my God, if I close my eyes, I'm gonna die. I could feel it. And I leaned back and I closed my eyes and I can still see it right now. And in my mind's eye, I saw two capital letter white A's. And I'm getting chills as I talk about it. And I was like, what is that? And I seriously thought, American Airlines? Is that American Airlines? Like, what is that? Oh, Alcoholics Anonymous. So I was a chicken shit. I did not dare to call the number. So I sent him an email. I said, I think I might be an alcoholic. I'm not sure. What do I do? None of my family had ever gone. Nobody been. We don't talk about that. It's yucky. Uh, but they said, hey, here's a meeting tonight. Come um, and see what you think. So I, I begged my little Mormon mom to come with me. My ex had no interest, and she did. She did come with me. And I went in the back of the room and I sat at the very back corner and they're like, are there any newcomers? Oh, hell no, hell no. I sat in the back, hid, quiet, just watched. And they were really happy. They were joking around. They were laughing with each other. I thought these guys are weird. They're weird. And then a woman stood up and spoke. She shared. And she talked about how she'd been a shitty mom. And she talked about how she planned on committing suicide. And she was in my head. And she was saying all of my secrets out loud in front of people. And I remember thinking, oh my God, oh my God. And then the next person did that too. And I was like, what? Like, what? People don't do that. You keep the secrets, right? You keep the secrets. They were just like, just blah. And I was like, okay. And then they passed around these coins. And then at the end, the guy, he said, I just want to welcome all those who didn't introduce themselves. And he was looking straight at me. And I was like, you know, but his eyes pierced me. And then right after the meeting, he came and got me and he said, are you Cheryl? I thought I was hiding, like, we know newcomers, right? We know newcomers. They got the look. And I said, yeah. He said, come here. And he got another woman and he put our hands together, and said, she's your sponsor. Thank God I probably would have dipped out and never came back. But anyway, that took me on my journey and it worked really well. And I was so sick and I was so sad and I was so happy to have somebody that was helping me that I jumped in the deep end. I went straight in. I did everything she said. I started going to meetings. My ex drank in front of me every single day. There was something there. And then we started the step work and yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I'm pretty sure, like, I know I'm supposed to say that. I'm not sure what it means, but I know I drink, not normal, blah, it's killing me. Yeah, I don't want to drink. She said the only requirement is a desire. You can figure that stuff out later. And I was like, okay. And then we got to step two and that God word. Oh, shit, 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 shit. She said, and then she said, write down everything you don't like about that God word. And so I was like, he's judgmental. He doesn't like women. He's this, all this stuff I was taught. He goes around with the check mark, waiting for us to screw up, be like, ooh, I got her, I got her. Like, can't wait to banish her to hell. Like, you know. And she was like, oh girl, like, oh girl, we need, you need your brainwashed, honey. Like it's messy. So she took that paper and she tore it up into a bunch of pieces and she threw it. She said, that's not your God anymore. How about we create a brand new one? And I was like, oh, you can do that? Like, isn't that like blasphemy shit, you know? And she's like, just trust me, and handed me a white piece of paper and she said, write down everything you need it to be. And I was like, oh, how about like kind and loving and uh, everybody's equal and like we all matter and, and I want a sense of humor and she's like, okay, that's good. Like, that's good. Um, Figure out what you want to call it. It can be great universal spirit. It can be higher power. It can be creative spirit, spirit of the universe. It don't give a shit what you call it. It just wants you to make contact. I was like, okay, I think we're going to go for Gus. Great universal spirit. I didn't want the God word. I didn't want Heavenly Father. So Gus, it was Gus. So me and Gus started rocking together. Step three, made a decision to let Gus be in charge of my life and guide me. And I remember walking down the grocery store. This is the first time I swear to you, I knew something was different. I was walking down the grocery store, the beer was on this side and waters were on this side. And I thought, okay, I can't have these, so I'm gonna have one of these. And there was a Perrier water. And I'm like, ooh, that's bougie. I'm sober now, I can get that. So I picked up a Perrier water and like a good alcoholic, I opened it up in the store and took a big swig of it. And I was like, oh my God, what is this carbonated shit? I was like, this tastes like shit. And so I put the lid back on it and I put it back on the shelf. I'm like, I ain't paying for that. And I started walking away and all of a sudden my conscience said, Cheryl, that's wrong. Don't do that. I was like, oh, shit. Shit, the only requirement is honesty, right? This is a program of honesty. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went back and got the Perrier water. I paid for it and threw it away. But right then I knew something was different. And I'll share one more thing that was spiritual for me that got me on the path, and then I'll move forward. But I was at an AA meeting. I was had $120 to go pay a credit card payment after a meeting, and it was Christmas time, and I was going to go pay cash. And a woman came in with her young child, and she was crying that she had just relapsed and that she was broken and that she had screwed up and her kids didn't have any Christmas. And I had this money, and I was like, God, do you want me to give her this money? And I had a strong feeling like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, but okay, I'm just going to trust you. And I went up to her and I gave her a hug and I just put it in her hand and I just left. And I swear to you on everything that I am, I got out and got in my car and there was money sitting on the passenger seat, folded up the way my dad used to give me money. He would used to sneak me 20s. And I sat there and I just instantly started bawling. And I said, if there's $120 here, fuck. I would have been happy with 20, but I've unfolded it and there was exactly the same amount that I just given that lady. And I remember calling my mom. I said, Mom, Dad was just here. She's like, oh, you're doing that AA shit. She was thinking I was back, but like, I know that happened. And so I was like, there is something magical going on in this AA stuff. So whoever this Gus is, yes, bruh, let's roll. And I got my life back, you guys. And at 11 months, how much time we got? Okay, I got to wrap this up. At 11 months sober, this was a life-changing. 11 months sober, through a series of events, I found out that my husband was molesting my children. He had been the whole time. Through a doctor's office visit from my oldest daughter, her reaction to an exam was extreme, and the doctor came in and said, something's off, something's off, something's off. And so she asked Chanel, has anybody ever touched you? And then Chanel looked at me like, and I said, whatever it is, say it. It is okay, say it. And she did. And then it came to, we found out it was my current husband at the time. He had been molesting my children. Thank God I was sober. I had my two other daughters with me. I know a higher power took over at that moment because I was able to remain calm. It wasn't about me. I needed to be mom and take care of my kids. I went and knew that I had to ask my other two. And I got in the car and I turned around and I said, I need you guys to be really brave and I need you to just tell me the truth. And then I asked the question and I could tell from their expression. My little Katie, I could tell. And so I said, everything's okay. When we go home, go down in Chanel's room. Me and Daddy are going to talk. And I took that bastard out on the deck and I looked at him and I said, you're so busted, motherfucker. It's over. It's over. Long story short, we prosecuted him. He spent 10 years in prison. My daughter, my little Katie, got on the stand and she testified in front of him what he had done. She was the bravest little child I've ever seen in my life. And because of her, that sucker got held accountable. Thank God. But with all that said, my kids are pretty badass, aren't they? With all that said, we lost everything. He went to prison. The DA came up to me and said, get a job, sister. He's going bye-bye. He was the breadwinner. I hadn't worked. I wasn't educated. What are we going to do? Sold all the shit. Sold all the shit. Got a job. Anyway, so blah, blah, blah. Let's move forward. Let's get to the solution. We got divorced. We had to scrape and skimp and credit card and shitty apartment after shitty apartment. Had to live with my mom for a little while. I had to sell everything. I lost everything. I was living in a 5-bedroom or a 5-level massive home, tons of toys. Had to sell everything just to keep us afloat. I'm a single mom taking care of 4 kids. Great. Ooh, I've never, anyway, fast track. Got sober, stayed sober, worked in a treatment center. God came through, gave me a graveyard staff position at a brand new treatment center. I think I started at like $9 an hour, just a really shitty wage, but I was just grateful to have a job. I ended up working up there and I ended up several years, I ended up getting up to like $60,000. Like I worked up. It went well. God took care of me. I was sober for a long period of time. Dated a bunch of men I should not have dated, unhealthy relationship. Finally realized my picker was freaking broken, stopped dating. Learn about yourself, date your damn self, get your shit together. Stop doing this to these kids. Stop. Stop. I didn't date anybody or serious for it was several years. I just decided I was done. I was done dating. Uh, I ended up meeting my current husband on an app called Words with Friends. We were playing a crossword puzzle game together, just super randomly. I finally told God, I'm like, you're gonna have to deliver them to my door. I'm done. I'm not dating anymore. Addicts, alcoholics. I'm done. Anyway, so like this nice guy out of the blue was like, oh, you haven't been on in a while. How have you been? And I was like, who's this guy? He's nothing like what I date. I like the bad boys. I like the naughty boys. This guy's just like a normal guy. He served in the military. Just a good guy. I didn't know how, he's normal. He's not an alcoholic. He's not in recovery. Okay. Anyway, he came out of the blue. Long story short, we fell in love. Boom. I met him like the first part of December. By the first part of January, he was flying to meet me. It went well. Then I flew to be with him and vice versa. However, when I went to meet him, when I flew to Arkansas to meet his family, um, I drank. I drank with his family. I didn't dare to tell them I was an alcoholic. I wanted to fit in. I wanted them to like me. And then I would go back and work at the treatment center acting like I was still sober. And this happened for about 2 or 3 months. And then my job randomly fired me. You cannot do, pretend to do God's work and not, he removed me. I got removed. And then I called my husband now and I said, I just got fired. I don't know what to do. And he said, I'm coming to get you. So he did. Anyway, I stayed sober. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I drank for a while and then finally it got bad enough. They said go back to AA. I did. I found a group in Arkansas, doing well. He gets a job offer in Germany, 2000. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Anyway, we did it. We came. Uh, I didn't get connected. Same damn thing, you guys. Same damn thing. I didn't find my people. I disconnected. I was scared. I'm in Germany. What if they don't speak English? Like, I'm not doing it. It was COVID too. Like, it was terrifying. I didn't get connected. I started drinking again. It went bad quick. My disease had progressed. It had gotten worse and worse and worse. I had to find AA. I remember my first few meetings, there was like 3 people in the room, 2 dudes and me, Fuzzy Michael and me. You know, I had to get a sponsor. I had to have a dude sponsor. Like that's all we had. I was so desperate. I didn't care. I was willing to do it. I was showing up at the meetings, started doing the step work. He was a biker dude, coolest dude. And he knew boundaries. He didn't do anything stupid. The other one tried, but he didn't. Uh, got sober, stayed sober, get rocking and rolling in recovery again, doing well. Then my mother-in-law gets sick with cancer in Arkansas. They didn't want to put her in her home, so I volunteered to go and be the martyr, take care of her. She was supposed to die rapidly. I was supposed to just go there for a week, help her with end of life, and then I was going to come back. Well, I took really good care of her. I fed her. Um, she ended up living like 6 more weeks. I ran out of my medication. I hadn't been to an AA meeting. There was drugs like you would not believe available to me. Anxiety, any kind of pain med. She was dying of cancer. She could have anything she wanted. So I started with taking her a little bit of her anxiety medication. That started it. Next thing I knew, I was buying alcohol. I was taking her car while she was sleeping and I was going buying massive alcohol and drinking. It got worse and worse and worse. And then finally I called my husband. And I said, I got to come home. I'm dying. Like, I got to come home. He put me on a plane, got me back to Germany. They ended up putting his mother in a home and she died like right after that. Okay, there we go. She died really quick. So I have all kinds of messed up shit over that. But I got back to Germany and I had a hard time quitting, you guys. Hard time. It had me. It had me in its grips. I would go to AA meetings. I would hit the gas station on the way back. I would come home, go take a bath and get shitty drunk. I did that over and over and over and over and over. I could not put it down this time. That continued until my bottom, my final bottom. My daughter who lived with us was sick of it, sick of it. And she would, when she knew that I was drinking, she'd go tell my husband. Before she had kept my secrets for me, she started telling on me, which started making me mad. And then I turned into this vengeful, ugly, horrific woman when I drink. I don't even have fun anymore. I do for like 2 minutes and then I turn into evil, pure evil. Anyway, I ended up lashing out at her. My husband went to bed. I was good and drunk. She had told my husband I was drinking. I was mad because she was getting in the way of my alcohol, you guys. I threw her out of the house in Germany. She's a beautiful young woman. The next morning, my husband told me, "You're done. If anybody's leaving this house, it's not her. We're sick of this. You're done." He was going to ship me off to rehab. I'm like, bruh, like I've worked at rehab. I'm not going to rehab. I said, please give me one more chance to go back to AA. If I fail, I'll go anywhere you want. I'll do anything you want. And I crawled back into AA. I got a sponsor. I started working my ass off every day. It started working again. And here we are. I'm 298 days today. No, 998. I'm almost 1,000 days. I'm just shy of 3 years. I know I'm the master of what not to do. I've done them all several times. Please hear people's story. This is progressive. It's progressive. It's deadly. It destroys. My life was getting smaller and darker. You guys, I'm going to show you this real quick and to help wrap it up. Like this says it all. I was scrolling through some pictures. I can tell in my life when I'm doing good and not doing good. This was me right before I got sober. I was 150 pounds heavier than I am now. I thought I was pulling it off. Nobody really knew. I mean, look at my freaking eyes. Look at my eyes. They're dead. When they say the nights and promises don't come true, like this is just this past year. I've traveled over 20 countries. I did a 10K marathon. About died, but I did a 10K marathon. I went parasailing or paragliding at 56 years old for the first time in my life. Off Switzerland mountain. I have a higher power today. There's a little bit of difference in the women, don't you think? This is sobriety. This is sobriety. It's my favorite. This is sobriety. I'm on a freaking camel. I'm on a freaking camel. Who rides a camel? I love when people say, "Oh, I don't know what to do." Like sober people are so boring. Bullshit. I'm living so big, so hard. So it's so good, you guys. I've worked my ass off to lose weight. I've worked my ass off to stay sober, and I'm getting the rewards and the benefits. Get a sponsor. My brain got me here. I can't trust myself. I can't take myself through the steps. Are you kidding me? My brain is full of shit. It lies, denies, and justifies everything. I need a guide who will call me out and say, hey, I know the behaviors you're doing them. Stop. Let's do this instead. They saved my life. They're a guide. They're a guide. They're not the boss of me. They're a guide that want to help me for free. We go and pay doctors and therapists, but like this wonderful human being wants to help me for free. And we're like, no, no thanks. You want me to do 12 whole steps to save my life? Are you kidding me? It has healed my soul from the inside out in a way that I did not know was possible. Give it a shot. Give it a shot, you guys. People think there's not value because we're not charging for it. Like it's God's work. Of course it's free. Of course it's free. I got to give it to you for me to keep it. That's why I'm doing this. This terrifies me. We got to step out of our comfort zone. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's going to be awkward. You're building a brand damn new life. You're getting rid of the old. They got you sick and stuck. They didn't give a shit you were killing yourself. You're going to meet new people who do give a shit, who do care, who are authentic, who want to cheer you on, who want you sober, who want you thriving. My sponsor just climbed freaking Mount Kilimanjaro last week in Africa. Like, what the hell? She's so badass. Like, oh, I want what she has. Find somebody who has the light. Find somebody that has that they have what you want. Hope is here. This family, a new spiritual family, are special, special people. Please keep coming back. Please listen. I really can't say much more than that. It's good, you guys. It's hard. I got to feel things I don't want to feel. I got to talk about things that are uncomfortable. I got to go to a meeting when I don't want to, but you guys, I have a freaking best life. 6 years ago, I was in a shitty apartment, pee stain from animals. Like, what? If that ain't God shit, what is it? I should be dead, you guys. Anyway, it's good. It's worth it. I hope you heard something that will help you today. I love this program with my whole heart. If there's anything I can do for anybody, join our Telegram. We're all on there. We all support each other. When I'm having a bad day, you're having a good day. You take me, and vice versa. And we help each other through this. Everybody has a community. Even gangsters have communities. Like, we need people to support our lifestyle that are headed in the same direction we are. They're the most beautiful people. Like, we're the misfits and the losers of the world. No, we're not. We are the sensitive, kind, creative, feeling different in a beautiful way, salt of the earth kind of people. Who else walks into the depths of hell with somebody killing themselves, dying spiritually, and says, "Here, take my hand. Let's go." And if you can't walk, I'll pull you. I'll carry you. Like, yeah. We matter, you guys. We matter. There's a way out and there's a way to stay out. I love this program with my whole heart and soul. I want to tell my daughter who joined the meeting tonight, the one I threw out. She asked me to be her maid of honor, you guys. If that isn't nice step gotcha, what is? I love you with my whole heart, Katie and Seth. Thank you for giving Mama Grace. Thank you for your support. That's all I got.